Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. Yep, you see how tall them carrots are? I have not watered today. I got some of them that 10 to 12 inches tall if I stretched them straight up. Things are getting big. Hadn't got big around yet, but they're growing. So, potatoes still look really well. They recovered. These smallest ones are the ones that got hit hardest by the frost. And they're coming back, so. And we got these over here that are just huge. Don't think I'll plant them quite as close together next time, but live and learn, right? And look at this. The 3 squash plants, no, there's 4 down here. 1 in the middle, 1 on that corner, 1 over here, and then 1 over here. But look at this. I'll show y'all. Look right there. What do you see? I got that thing's fixing to bloom out. That's a squash. That thing's gonna open up, be a bloom on the end of that squash to get pollinated. I've got a bunch of those pods on the zucchini plants. It's just hard for me to get them in the camera, but they're there, right there. Anyway, y'all see I cut some of the bigger limbs off that were covering up the other plants. So I did what y'all told me to do. I cut some of the bigger limbs off or leaves and threw them over there in the yard. I'll cut them up with the mower when I cut grass. But I cut them off just because they were kind of smothering out the other zucchini plants. And now they all can get some, sunlight and rain and such. So I hope that doesn't open them up to insects or anything, but that's what y'all suggested, so that's what I did. Onions are still looking really good. I just got finished going through the early peas over here. I had some grass that was coming up in the middle of the plants. It was well hidden until it got tall enough I could see it through the plant. So I pulled up 3 or 4 pieces that was growing up through there. But purple hull peas and green beans still aren't taking off yet. I don't understand why. But either way, I'm not watering today. We did not get any rain today. But I got a full inch in my rain gauge yesterday, which was Easter. This is Monday evening. So I got a full inch yesterday, and we've had overcasting clouds all day. So everything is still good and moist and wet. I'm not going to water today since we got a good rain yesterday. Tomato plants are still dwarfed. I did add a little more soil to the ones in the house and kind of strengthen them a little bit. And I'm going to be bringing them out some when the weather clears up and let them start getting hardened off to bring outside. And I'll probably put some in some of these grow bags that aren't really growing. So the rose bush, y'all can see from here, has got little blooms all over it. It's got some that are opened up. And, well, actually the first one's already fallen off. And then we got second and third. And see all the other red ones that are going to be everywhere when this thing starts opening up. So in the next few days, they should start blooming really well. I need to prune this thing back a little bit, be honest with you, but I've never messed with it other than we transplanted it from where I originally planted it into that big pot. So I had a problem with my internet, and the guys just left about 30-45 minutes ago, came out to work on it. And y'all see that white box right there on the back of the house? That is a range extender for my Wi-Fi. And it's basically another internet that ties in with my original and just extends the range. They said 1,500 feet. So I know my sister can pick it up over at her house, which is, 1,000 feet away or more. But I've had trouble with it. Friday evening, some of the cameras would disconnect, and I've got all the cameras on the extended Wi-Fi, not on the one in the house. It goes through it, but it's not the same line of internet. So all the cameras were on there, and I'd have cameras disconnect and then reconnect, and it kept giving me notifications that it connected. And so I started messing with the settings on those things, and then all of a sudden I lost all cameras. And I did all I could Friday night and messed with it a little bit Saturday and thought, okay, it's Easter weekend. I am not calling in for help and having a tech come out for something. The cameras still record anyway. They record whether they're on the Wi-Fi or not. So there was no need in me making them come out on Easter weekend when my cameras record anyway. And I'm giving the chicken scratch, y'all. And, you know, make them come out on Easter weekend. That's just what no sense in that. And so I sent them an email late yesterday, Sunday evening, and told them what was going on. And they contacted me this morning, tried to do stuff, you know, through on their end at wherever their control stuff is. And didn't have any luck with it, so they sent 3 more guys out here to mess with it again. And one of them, the one that was doing the work, was here, and the other 2 guys were 2 of the 3 that were here last time. But anyway, they got to checking everything, and I told him what all happened, and he got to checking stuff, and he says, man, I don't think that 2.4, which is the second line of my internet, is working like it's supposed to. So one of the guys come out and tried to connect to it with his phone, and it connected after they did a reset from their home office or whatever, but it would not let any, you know, my phone wouldn't connect to it, my cameras wouldn't connect to it. So if I took the cameras and connected them to the main Wi-Fi, they worked fine, but they would not connect to the extended range one that I'm supposed to, you know, be able to use. So they got out there and they took the covers off that thing and did a reset and got on the phone with their whoever does their tech support end, and they said, yep, it's not communicating like it's supposed to. I said, so all this time I've been paying for the extra range and this thing hasn't been working. And the guy looked at me and went, that's a good possibility. I said, because my camera's down here at my chicken pens, which are literally 30 yards away. There it is. Should be getting full strength, and they were getting 1 or 2 little bars. And he said, yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. So they did whatever they had to do and rebooted it, and it came up and worked. And my camera down here, I think I've got a snake problem. I think I got a snake coming and getting my eggs from this last pen. So I took one of my spare cameras and put in there so I could monitor it. Last time I had a snake get some baby chicks, I saw it on camera and came out and killed it while it was out here eating my baby chicks. So I saved some of them. And I want to see if that's what's coming in getting my eggs. So that camera had 1 bar out of the bars, you know, on the cell internet strength. And it went from 1 to full strength when they finally got that thing working. So I looked at that guy and I'm like, I've never had full strength out here. It's always been weak. I said, y'all told me that thing pointed straight into the woods and extended it 1,500 feet that direction. And he said, no, it's 360 degrees, 1,500 feet around you. I'm like, well, then it ain't worked right since I got it, because I've never had strength over here 30 feet away to the side of it. So anyway, they got it set up, got it running, and I got all my cameras back online to the main internet, and then I went in and switched them all to the extended range, and they're all working. So like I said, they do have a memory card. They record a couple of days worth of video constant anyway. So I did have proof if something ever happened. You know, I had recorded, saved video, but I've got all of the Wi-Fi cameras except the 2 I have issues with. One of them will work for 5 minutes and then reboot, and then work for 5 minutes and disconnect and reconnect, that kind of thing. One of them that I used to have out on the range just quit working completely. Is why I bought the other one that acts up. Came in and didn't work good from the factory. So They are cheap cameras, y'all, but maybe one day when I've got a little extra money and I've got some of these bigger projects done, I can buy some better made, American made stuff. But right now it's what I got. So I've got my original, now I'm telling y'all about my cameras, but I've got 7 that I use on the Wi-Fi cameras, but I have 5 that are hardwired on a complete separate system that goes to a DVR that keeps 30 days worth of video. So even with my Wi-Fi cameras not online where I couldn't see them while I was at work, they were recording, but also the 5 on the hardwired system runs 24/7, and they have night vision as well. I've never shown them on my YouTube page because it's just not anybody's business where my cameras are aimed and what they're doing. And one of them is a $600 camera where I can control it with the phone, and I can turn and I can see anywhere on my property with it. I can actually see my sister's property with it. Zooms in, and if she stood on her front porch, held up a finger, I'd tell her which finger she was holding up because it zooms in that good. So anyway, so that camera system never gives me any problem being hardwired and all that. But these Wi-Fi, this is the second time I've had issues with the internet for them, not the camera themselves. So see, I've got one back here because my fuel storage is right here. And if there's ever a problem where fuel comes up missing or somebody's messing with stuff they ought not mess with, my old tractor and my lawnmower and all that, that camera is set up to follow anyone that moves. So, and it also sees part of the chicken pens. And then I've got another camera up there at that end of the building that aims straight down this way, sees the chicken pens and this area. And then I've got one on the back corner of the house there, 5 feet, 4 feet from the extended range Wi-Fi, that aims this direction, so I can see everything under this side of the lean-to on the mini barn. And it catches everything from the front edge of that building down this way. And then I've got one on that corner of the house that also aims this way, so I can see if anybody ever goes to the door, I can see them right up to the door handle. And of course I got one on that corner over there, one on the front corner up yonder. So all 4 sides of the house are covered. They're all set up for motion or person tracking. It won't follow the cat, but it'll follow anything big, a big dog or deer or person. And the cameras follow them, and you know, they do their job. So yeah, they're cheap cameras, but they do exactly what I need them to do. But I spent several hours Friday evening and Saturday trying to get them to work, and the Wi-Fi just would not let them work. And then these guys spent a couple hours out here today figuring out what was wrong and getting it fixed. And luckily, Pineland doesn't charge me for that because I pay for the extended warranty and, or, you know, repair stuff every month. So it's not that expensive, but y'all know I didn't have any kind of internet other than my phone before Pineland ran a line out here. Well, apparently there's been some more internet lines being put in, fiber data lines put in on this dirt road that I live on. And I'm the last house that is occupied on this end of my dirt road. Everybody else lives at the other end, starting from where my sister is and much further down. So a couple of miles away, basically. But they ran new cables, and I was trying to figure out what they were doing. So I asked the guys, I'm with Pineland. I asked them about it, and he said, oh, that's he told me the name of the company. I can't remember it right this second, but it's another internet company running cable out here because they want to take the customers from Pineland. But you know what? Pineland's been good to me. I'm not planning on changing. I don't even care if the other company's cheaper. They came in and put a box. Y'all see the new one right there and across. They put one in the box in front of every person's property that lives out here in the country where I live. Even though I've got Pineland, they didn't have to put that in front of my house. They put one in front of my sister's and ran mine over to the box there. But you see, there's the other camera, and then there's the one here. My hardwire system is, you see that white one there, and there's a Another one right up there on Eve of the house. Then I've got the controllable one up on that pole. So I can go 360 around with it and up and down, all that good stuff. There's another one on that corner and the other side. So that's the hardwired system. But anywho, I was out there just messing in the garden. Finally got them all working like they're supposed to. And kind of took a little problem off my back. I don't like having issues, but my main internet never gives me problem. It's the backup that I've had issues with twice. But guys, I don't understand how they can do that. They put that range extender there and charge me like $10 or $12 extra a month for that from what I pay without it. So it's worth it. To me, it's worth it. I can be out there on the range and still have internet. So, all right. Well, I've rambled on long enough. But those of you that follow my channel and actually listen to what I'm talking about, I appreciate it very, very much. But I'm fixing to get in here. Since y'all saw me throw them scratch, I'm gonna get in here and get my eggs collected and check their feeders. They have not been emptying their feeders since I've got that hardware cloth on there. And you see they're in there eating now. But unfortunately, the hen that I thought might have been setting wasn't. She got up on the roost that night. So, still no hen setting. I do have a new incubator on the way. It probably will be here in the next day or two. And when that new incubator comes in, it only holds 12. But if I remember correctly, it's one that holds 12. I'm going to collect 12 eggs from Sunny. From their pen. I get about 8 or 9 a day from these hens anyway. But I'm going to collect those eggs and put them in that incubator and see if I can't start raising some more. And that little hen there seems to be extremely friendly. So as long as she doesn't mess with the babies, I'm going to leave her in there with the babies. Otherwise, she'll come in here and the babies will be by themselves in the last pen. So, but I've got 21 days to incubate them, and then you got to keep them in the brooder for another 2 or 3 weeks and till they get big enough, and then bring them outside, and then, all that good mess. But as soon as I get the first set hatched, I will be putting another set in there. I'm going to do that 3 or 4 times this year. I want to completely replace every hen I've got. So, and I will get some from the white knight side, but these Rhode Island Reds, they're just not doing their job like they're supposed to. So I'm getting more eggs from the black sex links and the Easter eggers. So, and I can't remember the proper name for those Easter eggers, but it'll be all right. Anyway, I'm planning on doing that. As long as that new incubator works like the other one did before it died, I'm going to hatch a bunch of babies. And I'll let y'all watch me raise them. I want to handle a few of them daily and keep them tame like Sue was, because Sue was handled a lot from the time he was born or hatched, because he was the last one hatched and he was the youngest, and he'd get picked on by all the others. So he turned out to be a very sweet little rooster, and he was a family pet. And all my kids are saying, Papa, you need to raise another pet. So I'm planning on doing that. So anyway, y'all let me know what you think. I hope trimming those zucchini leaves, like I say, doesn't invite pests to get in there. But so far it's early in the season and I don't have a pest issue. So hopefully it'll work out for the better. Thank y'all for watching. Remember what I've always told you. Jesus Christ loves you. And so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared. By the way, this video will come out Wednesday or Thursday because I've already got one I've got to get edited for Tuesday or Wednesday. So, thank y'all for watching. Y'all be good.